y'all had a mob, bro. And y'all had a mob. Hey, bro, man, like you said, Exree, Johnny, with Joe Smith. What was that like, man? Playing like those group of guys, man. Like I know you played with them, so it's a little different when you in the midst of it. But from the outside looking in, you like, man, they had a mob, man. So what was that like? What was the practices like? What was that experience like?
Yeah, so I'll go back, man. So obviously myself and Keith Booth, Keith and I played with each other AAU basketball with a team called DC Players. Those who know AAU basketball in this area, man, Donnie Gross, who ran that program. I mean, we had some tough players. I mean, we had myself, Stacy Robinson, who was supposed to go to Maryland before he went to JUCO. Von Jones, who ended up at GW, DeMatha guy, Hall of Fame DeMatha guy. Keith Booth, like I said, Mike Lloyd, who ended up going to Syracuse, who was a McDonald's All-American. Dante Bright, who went to UMass and was a part of that UMass Elite Eight team. He was a McDonald's All-American. But Keith was 1 year behind me. So we had played with each other. Myself and Johnny, we competed against each other. I didn't know Johnny that well. Like we hated each other. He went to Dunbar, went to DeMatha. We beat them in the city title game. They beat us. So we knew of each other. Exree and I, we all grew up. Exree, Johnny and I all grew up in Southeast, close to each other. And we didn't even know each other for quite some time. So fast forward, when it comes time for me to want to go to Maryland, I reach out to Keith. I reach out to Stacy Robinson, like, yo, let's do this thing, man. Like, bet, let's do it. So those guys all commit. With obviously Keith being behind us, I found out that Keith had finally committed. My freshman year, we lose to Carolina in the ACC tournament in Charlotte, and like we lost. The season's over with, and all I hear is Billy Hahn, our assistant coach, jumping up and down. We got him. We got him. I'm thinking to myself, man, we just lost a damn game. What are you so excited about? So Keith had committed. So fast forward, we, obviously this kid, Joe Smith, I remember him coming on this visit and we were shooting around. I could see he had nice touch and everything, but I didn't know anything about Joe Smith. Fast forward, he commits, comes on campus, and we're going into my sophomore year. My freshman year, we're terrible. We finished probably last in the ACC, getting our heads handed to us every single night. So Joe Smith we knew he was good, but it wasn't really apparent until a Sunday night. It was our very first time on campus as a team. He and Keith are freshmen. We had a guy named Nemanja Petrovic. Nemanja came in when I came in, and Nemanja was the incumbent. He was going to be the starting center. He played the year before, could shoot it. European kid, could really shoot it, 6'9", tough. And Travis, if I tell you the clinic that Joe Smith put on Nemanja Petrovic that Sunday night, I mean, it was like taking candy from a baby. Now everybody's like, whoa, this dude pretty good. So fast forward the next day, it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I walk up in my suite and a couple of my teammates like, yo, you hear about Nemanja? And I'm like, nah, what's going on? He all right? Transferring. The very next day, Nemanja was like, he probably said, I'm not playing here because this dude is damn good. I mean, that was the kind of beatdown that Joe Smith put on this dude in a pickup game to make him say, I can't stay here because I ain't gonna play in front of this guy.
Wow. That's
crazy, but through that preseason, man, you could just see it like, oh no, this dude ain't good. He's special. He's special. And it was incumbent upon us as his players, man, to realize like, yeah, we all bring certain things to the table, but at the end of the clock, when we gotta get a bucket, hey, Joe, get on that block. We're going to throw the ball into you and we're going to play off of you. You know what I mean? So it wasn't rocket science. It wasn't rocket science at all, man. But to see those guys, and the thing about it, man, we were all competitive. And we all brought different things to the table. And that was one of the most united, tight teams, man, that I've ever been a part of.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy, man. Like you said, like I said, stuff that I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of fans don't know. They love to hear stories like that. Dang, man, it got him so good. He made a transfer, bro.
Bruh. I knew it was bad, but I was like, it ain't that bad, bro. Like, come on, bench, back him up a little bit.
Right. That good, man. He put in work, man, and then was gone after that year, man. Yeah. That's another play I want to ask you about is because coach used to always bring him up when I was playing there, man. Exree Hipp. Like I know, like so how was he? I know he was like my height, 6'7", 6'8". 6'9". So what was like his game?
He was I'm sorry, X may be one of the most gifted, God gifted, talented players that I've ever played against. Long, he could sit down in the stance, man, and take up so much space. He could really guard. And if you had the ball to break as a point guard and he was running the wing, man, all you had to do was just time up when you wanted to give it to him and where you wanted to give it to him, whether it be a drop off or just throw it to the rim. He'd go get it. And then he could shoot the ball from three really well. I always tell people, if in today's game, if the type of season that he had after his sophomore year, the year that we went to the Sweet 16 for the first time in like 10 years, you know, X very well could have declared for the draft and been a fringe first round pick, I think. You know, he was that good, really talented, man. X loved the party. X loved the party. You know that. You know that.
That's why coach used to bring him up to me. Hey, bro. Hey, I like to you that. Hey, coach used to bring him up to me all the time when I was in practice. Like, man, he'll bring X name up. He'd be like, man, Exree was really good player, man, but just love the party. You love the party. And that's how it was. And he used to bring that up to me every time in practice. It was me. He was always comparing me to Exree Hipp every time in practice, bro. Every time in practice, man.
X great dude, man. I'm pretty sure
Oh
he
yeah,
wouldn't
big
mind us
bro,
talking
big bro.
about it now, man. But like, yo, we might have lifting at 6:30. Man, I'm coming out. Everybody walking to the car, ready to walk across campus. X just pulling up. Hey man, I gotta go inside, man. Grab me some Cheetos, man. I'm gonna meet y'all at the locker. Meet you at the weight room. Hey, but what was wild was he would do his work and show up to practice and be full go. He just did it. That was his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely. Now I heard he was a really good player, man. And especially like I said, y'all had a mob, man. Then we I had Keith Booth, all you guys together, man. Like what was some of the what was some of the greatest moments you had during your time at Maryland and experience, or some stuff like a story that nobody may not know about, besides the one when Joe Smith made his teammate quit. Besides that.
Oh man, it had quite a few, man. You know what? At the end of the day, man, just that feeling of being the quote unquote underdog, that was kind of the reason why I went to Maryland. I mean, I had a chance, my final schools, man, were Duke, um, Wake Forest, Providence at the time with Rick Barnes. Leonard Hamilton was at Miami. He was just getting things going. And I was like, I felt if I went to Duke, it was going to be like going into the math or to some degree, in terms of like they always win. And I was like, man, I want to like help a pro. I want to be like a groundbreaker to some degree. You know what I mean? I got lucky in being able to play with some of the really talented players that I was able to play with, but to be able to go on the road and beat Duke at the buzzer when we hadn't done it in years, to be able to go into the Dean Dome and win a game we hadn't done it in years, to be able to tie for the ACC regular season championship my junior year when we hadn't done it in years. Going to those locker rooms, man, and just having that feeling, there's nothing like it, nothing like it. And then another big time moment for me, our sophomore year, which was Joe and Keith's freshman year. Again, we were picked 12th or whatever. We start the season, we win against Georgetown. We start the season, ACC season, on the road against Georgia Tech. They were nationally ranked. We went and beat them good. And we exceeded expectations. But even still, at the end of the season, we had to win a game or so to like really get in. And I remember we had UVA, and they were talented, man, tough. Corey Alexander at the point guard position, Yuri Bonds, Jason Williford, Junior Burrows, like tough physical team. And we ended up beating them the last regular season game. We were hoping and praying, like, man, we hope that's enough. We hope that's enough. And we're sitting in our locker room during selection Sunday, and one screen goes past, and another screen, and another screen. Travis, we don't see our name pop up until the very last screen. And like, dude, the feeling that we had, I've never cried because like I was happy. I used to see that, like, man, that's the dumbest thing. How can you be happy and cry?
Right.
But dude, I was just so overcome with emotion, man. It was like we all in there hugging each other and just like, dude, that feeling right there was just surreal.